Whatever you think.
You want me to swear anything?
No, you never do that. Yeah. Go Big is in the house, baby. What's going on? Hang on. Let me get my phone situated. Got a lot going on here today. Hang on, I'm almost there. Happy 4th to everybody. Hope everybody having a safe one. Have a great time, but have a safe time as well. How's everybody doing? What do I want to bring up first? We're going to do a class today on tissue cultures. If you don't know who I am, they call me Go Big. This is what I do, man. I sling plants. I'm a plant slinger, baby. We're going to go today, we're going to teach you how to go from a tissue culture in a bag to being successful. And when you get done, have something like this. This is really cool. I looked at this today and I was like, man, people are overlooking these. I always want to call these fried eggs. They're not fried eggs. Look how cool these are, though. These are standard alocasia. I don't know why I can't remember this one. It's a mystic something. Hey, what is this? A Jacqueline. We just talked about this 5 minutes ago. I cannot remember that name for the life of me. Excited for this class. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Although I just deflasked my first ones 2 days ago. Oh, sorry. You know, I had a bunch of issues this week. I was sick. I was trying to get on. My voice wasn't right. I couldn't even hardly talk. And so I had some issues this week. I think they will be. Walk through the class. Okay, here's something cool. Watch this. Let's minimize that. Are we live right now? Hey, babe. See if you can see the live right now. Because I don't see it. Anyway. Oh, yeah, here we go. Right here. Check it out, guys. Look up on the screen. So we're streaming live to YouTube as well today. Let me I'm gonna close this. Let me get rid of this. I don't want the background noise. Close that. Hang on, let me bring this back up. So something's up there. Okay. Anyway, we're multi-streaming today. If you guys aren't following us on YouTube, please go give us a follow at Go Big Plants on YouTube. We're gonna start dropping a lot of content over there. And anyway.
You are.
You're live, baby. Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're live. That was Betsy's idea. I finally got off my butt and got it done. Anyway, hey, bro, see how you doing? Let me make sure I didn't miss nothing in the chat. Had a lot going on here. Perfect time for me to catch your class. Awesome. No worries. I'm still looking forward to learning. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, I am feeling better actually. I got a lot going on right now. I'm getting ready for a trip. We got another big order coming in around the 14th, I think, somewhere around there. Oh, Lacey, that's awesome. Was it a was it a what was it that you got the pink leaf on? Was it the how long have I been selling on here? Seems like forever. Not that long. Not that long. Actually, I've been selling on here for since about January. We hit it pretty hard, but we've done some live stuff before. Seems like the first time. Oh, really? Some merch. We're working on it, man. Oh, it feels like the first time. Oh, I get you. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, feels like the first time. Every first time. Okay, I got you. Anyway, we're gonna do the class today. Here's what we got going on for today. I'm giving away one of these Bluetooth hygrometers. Good to hear. Good to hear that. I'm giving away one of these Bluetooth hygrometers today. These are great, guys. These are great. I love these things. I got a partner that sells here on Whatnot. He lost, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like over $5,000 worth of plants because his grow room, the AC shut out on him and he didn't know it. Came back and all of his anthuriums were dead. It overheated. He lives in Florida, so he's got a lot of window um, sun coming through the window. It overheated his grow room, and he lost like 10 years of work from all of his anthuriums that had died. So this right here will stop that from happening. These are cool. If you look right here, it has a minimum and maximum for the humidity and the temperature. And you can set alerts on this. So let's say you don't want your grow room to get over 85 degrees. When your grow room goes to 86, you'll get a text on your phone saying, hey, go check it out. You have a temperature alert. Yeah, very devastating. So, these are a great thing to have. Yeah, I love GoV. They have a range of about 300 feet, I think 300. I read it earlier. I think it's like, no, I'm wrong. I think it was like 165 feet range. So that's pretty good. I used to carry one in my motorhome when I had a American Bulldog and he got overheated real easy. So I used to carry this with me in the motorhome, and then we'd go down and swim. I'd leave him up in the motorhome with the AC on, and then if something happened, I'd get alert to my phone saying, "Hey, the motorhome's overheating." So they're great unit. But for us, what works great for them? Let's say you set up a dome with $200-300 worth of TCs in it. You drop this in there. You can look at that on your phone anywhere on your property and tell what it is at any time of the day, and you can set alerts. It's the same way. If the humidity drops to a certain level, it'll send you a text on your phone. Hey, go check it out. So these are nice, really nice. We're going to give one of those away today. And all you got to do is just a follower today. We're not doing buyer giveys, but we're really here to teach today. Okay. So if you find value in the class today, you can drop me um, uh, um, a tip if you feel like it. And if you don't, that's cool too. We don't care. Like my It's a Banger shirt. We have merch. If you go up here, there's a way to get to the merch. If you go to the merch, you have to go to product. There's like a little bar. You push product, it'll bring everything up. Yeah, you bet, Brent. I thought about it today and I was like, we still got to do a givey. Here's the other givey I'm doing today. I'm giving away seeds. We've been trying to get Betsy going on the seeds, and it was a total flop on this channel because people are all about plants, so we didn't make any sales on our seeds, which is it's just the way it goes. It takes a while to get going. So Betsy has her own channel going now. So we're gonna put all the seed stuff and all the gardening stuff is gonna go over on Betsy's channel. Bets, what's the name of your channel again? She does not recall. That's a funny name for a channel. No, it's Go Big.
Let's go. On Whatnot, let's go. On the other side of the street, it's Go Big.
Oh,
and
that's
Let's Grow.
right. But on Whatnot, it's what?
Let's grow.
Let's Grow.
Right.
So on here, it's Let's Grow. So we're gonna move all this stuff like this over to there. So we're gonna be doing seed packs. Today is giveaways, and I'll Betsy's Big Garden Center. Somebody said that's a good name, huh? All right. So what are we doing today? Today we're gonna talk about tissue cultures. Let's do something real cool, real quick. If you've what's your favorite variety of plants? Put that in the chat. We need to get some chat going. What's your favorite variety? Philodendron, monstera, alocasia, a lot of alocasia, few alocasias. I think mine's philodendron actually, but I'm starting to fall in love with these alocasias, man. They have just so many nice varieties. Alocasia. Well, it is and it isn't. I love that monstera, but philodendron, in my opinion, are the greatest thing to grow. So easy to grow, and they get big. I like big plants. Here's an update on our
Your favorite plant.
this is my favorite alocasia. Look at this, 5-ounce deli. This is a dragon's breath. Look at that. It just threw this leaf. This leaf is about 15 inches. Look at that thing. That was the first one it threw.
That was the old leaf.
That's the old leaf, but now look at this thing. Is that crazy? Look at the size of this container.
Look at the corn. Look at the corn.
Yeah, it's got corms popping out of the container. You see that? Saying dollars, come get me. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk right through from the bag to being successful like this. Okay. We want to be able to take you from right from the bag, and we're going to set up a lemon pom-pom today. I have one that has a little brown spot on the leaf. If you guys ever buy from me, I always point this stuff out. If there's an issue with the plant, I'll always point that out. We'll talk a little bit about what we're going to do about the shipping that's coming up. Everybody's freaking out about that. It's not a big deal. We got it. We got it covered. Okay. So anyway, that's going to be the giveies. Please share out the live if you don't mind. We appreciate that. Anytime today during the live, I say, drop me some hearts, baby. Tap on the screen really good. I see some people doing it now. We appreciate that. It just tells the algorithm that we have an active live, that people are engaged, and that helps us a lot. All right, so let's start. Do we have any questions before I go into the class? I'm going to do a little bit here, and then I'm going to take you over here to the bench. Any questions before we get rolling? It's going to be like 105 here today. I'm getting in the pool right after here. Right after this, I'm jumping in the pool. All right, no questions. Here we go. Oh, here, let me pop some stuff in here. I'm going to drop this just so people can see it. We do have stuff available. We'll be talking about this through the class today. This is our humidity kit. I'm going to leave it up right there for you guys to see. I have more than 4 too. I don't know why it says 4. I can change that. Anyway, here we go. So what is the tissue culture? What's the lighting? How's the audio? Audio okay for everybody? I got my wireless on. Everything good? Sound wise? Sounds good? Sounds great. Okay. Here we go. So what is a tissue culture? A tissue culture is a plant in a bag, basically. And it's got jelly in there. I call it jelly. It's actually called agar. When I say jelly, people kind of understand that a little better. You see the jelly in there? It's called agar. Okay. When you're in high school, do you remember doing like little lab experiments where you would go, I gave you guys a very good view here, didn't I? Let me move this up just a little bit. But when you're in high school, you would do experiments where the teacher would say, hey, breathe on this or lick your finger, do that in a petri dish. And then you would look at it under a microscope. Well, this is the same stuff. That's what's in this bag is that agar that we used to play with in high school, right? And so basically this plant is grown in a very sterile environment. It's from the time it's put in it grows in the bag as a very small little piece of tissue because they start out as a little tiny piece of tissue culture and they go into a jar like this. And I'll show you some that we've done. Okay, you see that big old clump in there? That started out as one little tiny piece of a corm, and now it's multiplied to this. Okay, we're going to walk through all that. Okay, go big. So why do this? Why don't I just go buy this plant? Why do this? Because this plant right here, this lemon pom pom full grown is probably about $500. If you went to a plant shop and you said, "Hey, I want a lemon pom pom this tall," it'd probably be around $500. So you can buy, and we're gonna have we have these on sale today, $42, smoking deal. Okay, we're gonna have some sales after the class. So that's why we do it, because as consumers, it's a good deal for us. You get them. You like this one right here. You can pay $42 for this. You learn how to set it up. Now you're off to the races. Now you can have that really nice plant on the cheap. That's why we do them. And when they set them up in a laboratory, they call these labs. These are actually set up in a lab. There's a guys walking around in white suits, gloves on, mask, the whole 9 yards, right? They look like, they're working in a lab where they're producing anthrax or something. They're set up with very sterile conditions. And so this plant, until you have opened this bag up, it's never seen a virus, a mold, it's never seen a bacteria. All the things that want to kill this plant, it has never seen before. As soon as you open that bag up, all those things are trying to kill it. And so we're going to teach you how to get it out of that bag and be successful. So what are we going to do today? We're going to take it out of the bag. We're going to go through this multiple times. We're going to take it out of the bag. We're going to wash it, right? We're going to get the jelly off its face. I want you guys to think of this plant as your newborn baby. Like when you get a newborn baby from the hospital, you don't want people breathing on your newborn baby. You don't want people coughing on your newborn baby. You wouldn't take your newborn baby on the city bus, right? You protect it, right? You want to keep it away from the germs. So we're going to teach you how to do that. Just think of this as your newborn baby. If your newborn baby had jelly all over its face, what are you going to do? You're going to wash the jelly off, right? Mimosa. I'm trying to germinate some mimosa seeds. I haven't done mimosa seeds. Are they a big, hard seed? Very hard seed? Pretty good size seeds or small? Yeah, okay. What I would do with those is soak them 24 hours in a glass of water. Just take a container, just a jug, fill it with water, and drop them in there and soak them for 24 hours. A lot of your big seeds like that, um, they need that soaking so it can make its way out of the shell. It softens the shell up and absorbs that water. So 24-hour soak I'd recommend. And if you wanted to, drop like one little drop of peroxide in there for the antifungal. Okay. All right. So anyway, so think of that as your newborn baby. Your newborn baby has jelly on its face. We're going to take it out and wash it. After we wash it, we're going to rinse it. Then we're going to put some rooting compound on the roots and we're going to pot it up in a pot. Then after we go into the pot, we're going to put it into a humidity dome like this. I'll show you these. We set these up about 4 weeks ago. I'll show you how they're doing. Okay. Same dome that we sell, guys. Same one. And our kit comes with everything you need except peroxide and a brush. But you do have to buy tissue cultures. I had a lady get upset at me because she said that she bought the kit and it didn't come with no tissue cultures. But so I always say that you don't get the tissue cultures with the kit, but you do get the Fuvel and perlite mixed. And we'll go over all that. Okay. So here we go. So let's talk about the lab itself. So in a lab, this is how they set them up. They set them up in these little containers, sometimes glass. It depends on the lab. And they inside this agar is plant growth regulators that tells the plant what to do. So basically, they say, "Hey, plant, I want you to multiply." And that's what we did with this one right here. "Hey, plant, I want you to multiply." So they put plant growth regulators that stimulates that. So that one little piece of tissue culture, this one looks like I got maybe about 20 in there now, maybe more. So we took one little corm and we turned it into like 20. Then they take those and they separate them. I don't know if you guys can see, but this white thing behind me that you can see that's white, it has a lot of stuff stuck to it because it's metal, so I can magnetize stuff to it. That's a laminar flow hood, and that's what they use for this kind of work. They work in front of a laminar flow hood to keep the bacteria away from what they're doing. It has a big, thick filter in there about this thick that actually filters out bacteria. Okay. So when they get to this size, they chop them up into pieces, they separate them, and then they put each one in their own container. And then they do the same thing again. So you say, okay, well, why do they do that? Because the speed that you can multiply. So basically, we're cloning these plants. That's what these are. These plants that you're seeing in a bag, they're a clone of the mother, an absolute clone of the mother. Okay. And so you can take one tissue culture and wait 6 weeks, and now you got 20, usually 10. I'll say 10. Okay. And then you separate them. And now those 10 in another 8 weeks becomes 100. You get it, right? 100 becomes 1,000. 1,000 becomes 10,000. In a matter of time, you can take one plant and generate 100,000 plants. That's why they do it, because it's very effective. It's very efficient. They put them in these because these are very cheap to purchase. So that's why they're done. And they don't get shipped in these bags, guys. Okay. I mean, they don't get grown in these bags. The bag is only for the shipping. So what they do is once it gets to this point, they go, okay, we've got good growth. We want this thing to grow some roots now. So they change the mixture in here by taking the plant out and putting in a new mixture. And then they say, hey, I want you to grow some roots. Okay. So they wait. And then once that plant grows roots and it looks healthy, then they separate them. They go in these bags and they get shipped. Okay. That's how they're created, you know, in a laboratory, in a very sterile environment. Yes, I will be selling. The only thing I have today is I have green elves and I have lemon pom poms. And we'll have a new shipment coming in on the 9th. But yeah, we will have some TCs today if people are looking to buy. Those are the only ones I have today, though. I normally make the classes about cells. I do try to make it really about the class and try to really try to bring you guys some education here. But we will have some cells, yes. Okay, so here's another way that you can do tissue cultures. This one's way overdue. We should have already had these out. They're starting to look a little limpy and they're not looking as hot as they have been in the past. So I'm dragging my feet on getting this done. But this is what they call a temporary immersion system. And what it does, it's the same thing as this. They just don't add the chemical that it creates this to turn to a solid, which is called agar. It just leaves it in a liquid form. It's kind of like tissue culture hydroponics. Okay. And there's a machine that we have that we put this in, and it rotates these twice a day for 30 seconds. The fluid goes in, it holds it there for 30 seconds, and then it brings it back. It does it that twice a day. Okay. And they say this is like 7 to 10 times more productive than this. And it seems like it is so far. So we're working on that. So they do a lot of this in the laboratories. It's they have a different types of temporary immersion systems where they actually push fluid into the container under air pressure, and then it goes up and then they drains it out. Basic hydroponics. Okay. So those are some of the ways that they actually do that. Here's another one that we did. You see all the you see all the you see all the plants in there? That started with one. Okay. Now we're up to like, I don't know, I'd say 20 probably. They're trying to push the lid off. Okay. I do not sell the fluid. Plant cell technology is where I got mine at. It's kind of expensive to get going on the tissue culture stuff because it takes some equipment. You have to sterilize your containers. You have to stay really sterile. It costs around $900 to do this, just to get started. And then after you get going, it's not as expensive. There's just some things you need to have to measure and to mix and all that stuff. And you have to get either an autoclave or a high pressure pressure cooker, a big one, so you can sterilize everything. So that's how they're created. Okay, so we'll get any questions on that. I'm going to go on to how we get it out of the bag, what we do. Any questions up to that point? I'll be making some stops during the class, and so you guys can have time to ask questions. All my Monstera Tycons are doing beautifully. Tina, that's amazing. Actually, the Tycons, they grow really nice. They want to grow. They're an easy grower. Yeah, Grandpa, it costs that. That's not included in the laminar flow hood. If you can use what they call a still air box, which is basically a big old plastic thing you put your arms in, it's not as effective, but it can be done. That's how I did these with a still air box. And then, but a good laminar flow hood will cost you about $5,000 new. I found this one used and I got a really good deal on it. But they're around. You can get a good deal on them. But yeah, just the chemicals and the measuring devices and all this stuff you need to just get started is about $900. But it's really cool stuff. Here's the other advantage of tissue cultures. We're losing plants on this planet every day that you'll never see again. Apples are a good example of that. The apple industry, yeah, that's great, Tina. And these are just our hobby stuff. We haven't sold any of our own yet. Everything we've sold, we've purchased from labs. Okay, so the apple industry, what they did is they stopped producing apples that don't have a good shelf life, that don't look perfect and round. And we've done that in our food industry all over the industry. And so what's happened is like if you look up apples like say around the 1900s, there was like 2,000 varieties of apples. And now we're down to like 10.
And you're the urban farmer, remember?
Yeah. So, this gives us an opportunity that if you was to come across something that is unique and rare and going to a point of extinction, this tissue culture gives us a way to bring that stuff back. Okay. So that's pretty important. Yeah, the apple industry. You know, our grains are the same way. You know, how people have a lot of like um they have issues with different types of grains and stuff. A lot of it is because we lost all the grain that we used to have. The grains used to be like 5, 10,000 varieties of grain. And we've done the same thing with grain. We stopped growing grain unless it's perfect, unless it's productive, unless it's making a dollar. So we've done the same thing with those. Every industry you look at, you could see that. Flowers, everything you could think of. Yep, as a large scale farmer, modern farming sucks. It does. We're killing we're killing our soil, man. We're killing our soil. Good. If you're ever in organic gardening, go check out what they did in. Um, I can't think right now. Where was it? The missile crisis where we shut down their country, Cuba. Go check out Cuba. What happened in Cuba was they had no way to get fertilizers anymore when they were shut off from the US. That's awesome, TC Company. I love hearing that. We need to do that so much more. And honestly, you found out it's more productive. You can produce more on a smaller footprint just by doing good farming. You don't need that big land. You can do so much more with a small footprint. Come visit if you're in Moscow, Idaho. Awesome. I love the Yakima area. Do you have any coniferous plants by chance? No, I do not. So anyway, that's what's happened. And so that's why the tissue culture, there is a benefit to it. You know, there is a great benefit to it that we can, help bring back some of these varieties that have been lost, So anyhow, let's start going through what do we do? Okay, go big. I got this thing. What do I do? I always forget to get these for some reason. Don't make fun of my green shorts. Hang on, I gotta grab some. Hey, babe, can you give me a pair? I got out of getting out of this chair. Uh, can you bring me some rubber gloves so I don't have to show off my bright green shorts to everybody? I like my bright green shorts. She does not like them much. I don't want to show off my bright green shorts to the world.
I think we should vote on it.
I
goes
used to
the
wear
other
these
way.
I used to go to the bank with these, and
I think it should
she
be a
says I
vote
shouldn't leave the house with them.
of me and your friends, if we should throw them away or not.
I like them.
I'm taking.
No, don't. You better never throw away my green shorts. Okay, step one, show the green. You want to see the green shorts?
Please help me. Help me.
Can you see them? Let's
They
see.
should not be worn
Can you
in
see them?
public. Help
She
me.
says I should not wear these.
Ever.
I think they're bitching.
Ever. I'm gonna go sing a ceiling.
I never did go with the flow. It's going with the flow is boring, man. I stand out. They match the shirt exactly. So anyway, step one, in my opinion, very important. Put on some rubber gloves, okay, guys? Just do it. The reason being is these plant growth regulators, for the most part, they're very safe. There's a few that are not, and some of them are what they call hydroscopic. And what hydroscopic means is you can absorb that through your skin into your bloodstream. You do not want plant growth regulators flowing down your bloodstream, guys. Okay. So just take the time, get you a box of these. They're like $10. Yes, it can make you sick. I've worked in the automotive industry for 40 years. And for years, we used to like spray carburetor cleaner on our hands and brake clean and never think a thing about it. And I had some training about in MSDS, and I became like the MSDS guy for the company I worked for. And it makes you realize it's very dangerous to be putting all those chemicals. It's not the one-time exposure that'll get you. It's when you're working with it every day for 25 years. That's what can happen. So get you some gloves, put them on. Um, if you're pregnant, you don't want this stuff floating around in your system. I found out yesterday I'm not, so I'm good to go. I've let Betsy off the hook. She's feeling way better today that she's not going to have to support my child. I should have grabbed some different scissors, but anyway, I'm going to go through how to do this. If you're older, you got some medical conditions, you don't want this stuff floating around your bloodstream. Unless you know who set these up and you know the lab personally, or you set them up yourself, you really don't know what's in this bag. You just don't know. So I'm going to give you some tips real quick. Here's a couple tips I'll tell you. One is if you don't have a labeler, save that little tag and put the date on it. Okay. Now, and we'll go through why that's so important. It's very important. The date's going to become very important all the time. Good. That's good to know. I recommend it. I used to be a hardhead when I was a young guy doing automotive. I used to laugh at guys that wore these. And you know what? They were the smartest ones in the shop. So one thing I tell people is, as you're cutting a bag open, pay attention. This is a good deal from Go Big, $42. These were not that long ago were about $80. Okay. So you don't want to cut your leaf in half for something you just paid, $100 bill before. Yeah, me too. I was really worried. I was afraid what my parents were going to say. So what I do is I cut it, and then if I didn't have a labeler, I would cut this out, save it, and then when you get it set up in the dome, you can put like a little piece of clear tape and just tape it right to the dome, so you know what kind of plant it is because it says it right on there, and then you put the date on there. What I tell people is don't cut this all the way off. Just leave it in one piece, so then you only have one piece to worry about. You don't want your dog to be getting a hold of this. You don't want your grandchild that's crawling around on the floor to get this in their mouth. Be responsible with this bag. Where's I'll get a little thing right here. I usually have a garbage can ready because I just want to go straight out of this bag and into the water. So what I do is I just reach in like this, grab the plant out. I'll give you a look at it. Right? There ain't a lot of gel on this one, but some of them are just covered in gel. Okay. Dispose of the bag. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, this is a lemon pom pom, by the way. I'm going to drop this in a bucket of water behind me, and we're going to go on to the next step. Okay. Before we go on to the next step, so it's just floating in some water over there right now. And we'll talk about the water and what we do and all that good stuff. We'll talk about all that. And then I'll stop and take some questions. If you guys don't mind, take a moment and get a shot of, did I get them both? Yes. Get a screenshot of these two things. This was a recommendation by Julie Bones. It's on here a lot with us. She's a great buyer here. And so I thought, yeah, I think that's a great idea. So I went ahead and did it. So I always try to give her credit for that. So take a screenshot of this. If you didn't know, if you swipe to the left, you can move all the words out of the way. So you're not getting all that in your screenshot. Okay. This is a step 1 through 8 of what to do to get it out of the bag and what to do with it. And we're going to go through these. Okay. We're going to do that right now. And this tells you what to do step by step once you get it into the dome. So take a screenshot of that. Okay. And with our kit, you can screenshot this, but I don't know that it's very helpful to you. But in our kit, you get these 3 items with the kit. And what this is, you take this, you put the name of the plant right here, and then you look on the calendar and you go, okay, Week 3, this is the date. Week 4, this is the date. Then while you're standing there at the calendar, you go to these dates and you circle them and you put a little plant on there. So you know, hey, on week 3, right, you need to do something. And this will tell you what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. It's not that complicated. It's just a cheat sheet. Once you do it 1 or 2 times, you won't need this. And it's really not that difficult, guys. It's really not. Let me get you moved over here on my Google Calendar at work because I check that the most often. There you go. I got to learn how to use that Google Calendar thing. I have yet to learn how to use that. All right. I'm going to move you guys over here. I walked away and missed the week 1. What do you mean week 1? Did you need to take a shot of it again? We didn't go to week 1 yet. We're still at getting it out of the bag. Okay, yeah. It's right here. So week 1 and 2, you're not going to do anything. And we'll go over that. Okay? Any questions? Now's a good time to ask questions. Think about your questions. I'm going to move the camera over here, get some good lighting so we can see what we're doing. And then we'll take some questions, okay? You get to see my fancy green shorts again too. Let's move this that way. Oh, I gotta unplug that. Is that still going? I ain't gonna worry about that right now. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna go for a ride. It only takes me like a minute or 2 to do this part. I'm getting better at it. Oh, this pole looks weird all of a sudden. Okay, hang on. Almost there. I'll let you guys look at the ceiling for a minute. Ponder your thoughts. Doesn't take that long. Just takes like just a few minutes. If you're ever looking for a really good boom arm for your phone, man, go check out. This is the greatest little arm. It's called a Magic Arm by I bought some stuff for cameras for this company before. They got great products. What's the name of this thing? Small Rig. Small Rig. It's called the Magic Arm by Small Rig. Really nice little arm for doing, phone stuff. Here we go. Let's get switched over. You guys can see what I'm doing. I think I'll move you this way a little bit. Okay, let's get a good visual going here. Okay, let's see what I want to get a really good top down. Let me get this up some. I almost dropped my phone in the water one time doing this. I had a heart attack. Freaking phones are expensive nowadays. This thing's in my way. How's that for a shot? Can you guys see pretty well? That's a good shot. Okay, let me check the chat. Any questions? Like a roller coaster. Yeah, it was. Tad lower. Wrong one. Is that better? Okay, let's talk about good deal. Hit me with some hearts, baby. Give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna go grab something to drink so I don't lose my voice. Oh. Okay. I'll tell you, for a guy that likes to jabber, man, when you lose your voice, it sucks because I talk a lot. Betsy Price thinks, does that guy ever shut up? No, I don't. Okay. So here we go. So the water right in here is just out of my tap water. And I tell people, if you do not know the quality of your water, go with some distilled water. I know the quality of my water. I've used it before. I've never had a problem. If you're struggling with tissue cultures and it seems like, man, you've done it 10 times, you keep failing, maybe go to distilled water. Maybe it's your water, you know. If you're on a well, I recommend distilled water. Wells have a lot of stuff in them that you do not want to be trying to do this with. Um, so, anyways, this one doesn't have a lot of agar on it, but we're going to treat it just like it does. Okay. And usually when I go in, so this is just room temperature tap water, just water, nothing else. I usually take this, I go straight in so I get the leaves underneath there. I don't scrub the leaves, I just scrub the roots. And this is the brush I use. I know people probably think, man, dude, you need a new brush. But you know what? It works. I love this brush. Home Depot sells a nice little brush. It has a little rubber handle on it. It's about 6 inches long totally that are nice. I need to go get one of those because I want to try it because I think I'll like it because of the handle. Anyway, when you're doing this, the whole object here is get the agar off the roots. Okay. And I tell people 2 minutes, give yourself 2 minutes cleaning time on these. And when you wash it, I don't want to see you going like this. Oh, I don't want to hurt the root. Oh, I don't want to do that. No, scrub this sucker, man. You got to get the agar off. I would rather you knock all the roots off of this than to try to set it up with agar left on it. And the reason being is agar has sugar in it, which is a perfect place for bacteria to grow. It gives it a source to feed off of. So you want to get all the agar off the roots and just work your way around it. You know, go like this, work your way around it, get them all off. Don't worry about it. Because you know what? There's lots of people that have been doing this a hell of a lot longer than a lot of us have, that they cut the roots off. They don't even worry about the roots. They actually cut all the root off. I just have a hard time cutting off roots, and I'm a I'm a believer if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So if it works, just keep doing what works, man. And let me talk to you about. I'm just gonna go a couple minutes with this. I don't have my Alexa in here, do I? I may have to get one of you guys to do a timer. Um, you just really want to give it a good scrubbing. And if you knock a root off, see there right there? I was hoping I'd knock one off just so I could show you guys. There it is. Hang on, I'll show you if I can find it again. Anyway, I seen one, I knocked one of the roots off. I would rather you knock all the roots off this thing than to leave agar on it. Give yourself a minute or two and just act like you're painting it, like you're trying to paint it with the paintbrush. Be kind of aggressive with it. You're not going to hurt this thing with this brush. You just really want to get, there it is right there. You guys see that piece of, let me see if I can get it on my brush. See that? I knocked that off. I don't care. I'm not concerned about that. It's going to grow roots anyway. When we put it in there, we're going to give it a rooting hormone and it's going to be loving life. Okay. It will not love life if you leave that agar on there. The agar is the culprit, guys. That's the whole reason we're doing this right here. is to get the agar off. All right. I'm going to cut it a little short so you guys don't have to wait for me for like 3 minutes watching me wash this thing. But you get the idea. Just give it a good scrubbing. Scrub it, man. Don't baby it. You want to get it clean. Okay. I'm going to call that good. Okay. And people say, man, 2-3 minutes per plant. Well, if you spend $100 on it, you know, yeah, exactly. And you see, this one has a little brown spot. I want to talk to you guys about that. If this leaf was completely brown, I would just take a pair of scissors, spray it with alcohol, and I would cut that leaf out. But this leaf just has a little brown spot on it right there. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it on there and I'll keep an eye on that. If this leaf starts turning black, I'll reach in there with the scissors and cut that and get it out of there. I won't leave it on. But I think it's probably going to go right through acclimation like that and it'll be fine. Bob Ross moment. Bob Ross, he was the guy that used to paint. Is that who that guy was? The guy with the fuzzy hair? Yeah. Yeah, really, You need to go to your very soft side and just enjoy what you're doing, you know? Don't get excited. Just enjoy the process. There you go, happy little accidents. That's funny. He was actually fun to watch. Okay, so we're gonna call that good, all right? And what I usually do is when I get to this point, I'll teach you something real quick on here. When you're doing monsteras, don't get excited when you see dark like that. It's common. At the very bottom where the roots come together and the roots pop out, that is always going to be dark. It's just the way they grow. I mean, if you pull this out and this was all black and moldy looking, that's different. But when this part right here is dark, it's not a problem. We'll go through that vintage. We'll talk about it. And that's something I want to tell you guys. Everybody's going to have their own way of doing this. You're going to watch me and I do it a certain way. Somebody else might do it a different way. You know, it's like baking a cake. You know, some people like to use bread flour, other people like to use cake flour. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. But this is the way Go Big does it, and this works. And I'm not going to change it because it works. Why change it? Don't fix it if it ain't broke, right? Okay, so let's go on to the next step. We're going to get the water out of the way. Um, I'm just going to leave this right now here for a second while I tell you the other part. Okay. This right now, the second step is going to be antifungal soak. So we're going to put some peroxide in this. I use these 1 pint jars and this lower ring, I fill that with water and I fill the rest up with peroxide. Okay. Or 5 big squirts. It doesn't have to be like so precise. 5 big squirts are from this lower edge to the top. Okay, it's about a half inch. And before you do that, you'll hear people talking about Teen 20 and a bunch of different kind of products you can get, and you can go get those. But you know what? Teen 20 is a water s- I want to say it right. I always kind of say that word wrong. It's a surfactant. In other words, it breaks the water tension is all it does. And you can get it. It's a little expensive, but guess what also will work? Okay. We're going to show you how to do this on the cheap. We're going to show you how you could do this at 3 in the morning and just run down to 7-Eleven. Okay. Easy. Easy's always easy. Simple's best, man. 2 drops of liquid detergent. One, two. Okay. Now we're going to add the peroxide. And this is what you call an antifungal wash. And when we get done, we're going to soak this plant for 5 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's almost to flow over right there. So what do we have here? We got a container tap water, distilled if you're not aware of what kind of water you have, with 5 squirts of peroxide or on the line like I showed you on these cups. I use these, I think these are balls. These are ball canning jars. And so I just go to the very bottom with the water and then fill it to the top. Okay. Now we're going to do, somebody want to set a timer for me for 5 minutes? I didn't bring my Alexa in. Somebody give me a timer, please. 5-minute timer. Say when. Anybody want to set a 5-minute timer? Let me know so we can get it right. Go. Gotcha. I usually go in, uh, leaf down, and push it all the way down so I know it goes all the way in. The percentage on the peroxide is going to be 5 big squirts, or from this line on a ball jar, 16-ounce jar, to the top, about a half inch. I say 5 big squirts. It's not that critical, the percentage. Okay. So we're going to let that soak now for 5 minutes, not 5 hours, not 5 days, 5 minutes. Oh, you mean drugstore brand? Yeah, it's just 3%. I don't think this says it on this. I think it's 3. Actually, I don't think they rate peroxide in percentage like they do alcohol. It's just what's cool about the peroxide, you can go get peroxide anywhere. If you're going to get Teen 20, you're not going to run down to 7-Eleven and get it. So that's why I like using it. Mamas, yeah, hit me with a private message after this so I can talk to you about it. We'll figure it out. It happens. We'll get it figured out. I'm fair with you guys. I promise. Um, so we're gonna soak that for 5 minutes, and that's just an antifungal bath. We're just giving it a better chance. It would be like, if you went in for an operation, they're just not gonna whip out the knife and start cutting on you, right? They're gonna wipe you down with iodine, and they're going to do some things to make it sterile, and that's all we're doing right here. We're just giving the plant another chance. This is just Dawn dish soap. I like Dawn. I think you could use any dish soap you want. Yes, dish soap, just plain old dish soap you wash your dishes with. And then we're going to soak it for 5 minutes. So let me talk about what we're going to do after while this is soaking. Okay, I'm going to get this out of the way. Let's get rid of the water. We don't need that anymore. The first thing we're going to do when that comes out of the water is we're just going to dunk it in this, which is just straight water. We're just going to give it a rinse. And after it comes out of that rinse, we're going to put some rooting hormone on the roots like any other plant that we'd set up, right? So at this point, it's nothing really different than setting up a tomato plant for the garden, other than the soak. This 5-minute soak is all you're doing different. Rinse it. You're gonna put some rooting compound on there, and then we're gonna use one of our little kits. I'm gonna show you why I use these and why I love them. Okay, we use these. I highly recommend them. They work great. Um, they normally come with a different type of insert in them that I don't care for. I don't care to use plugs. I have used plugs, and sometimes I do use plugs if I'm doing a bunch of them. But this is what they come with. I don't care for these for a reason. Okay, they go in, yeah, you can do 12, but you know what? They're too tight together. And then the other thing is, let's say you fill this up full of $100 TCs. You got $1,200 worth of TCs here. And then this one right here, you're going to have failures. Some are going to fail. It's part of the gig. You're going to have some that fail. So let's say this one all of a sudden starts turning black and yucky looking. Well, you want to get it out of there away from your other ones. Oh, that sucks, Julie. But it happens. Don't take it personal, man. It happens. You're going to have a 10 to 20% loss doing this. Sometimes you'll get lucky and have no loss, but you will have loss. Let's say this one started turning yucky. Well, you can't really get it out of there. I've used tweezers and stuff. You can get it out of there. You can suck the perlite out of there and the fluvole, but it always just leaves some debris behind. And they're actually too close. They touch. So we like to use these. Let me know when the timer goes off. We like to use these because, oh, that sucks, Julie. So we like to use these because what these do is, let's say you have that. Okay, good deal. Let's say you had time is up. Okay, time is up. So what we're going to do right now, while I finish telling you, we're just going to move this into this other container. And what you would do is, if you weren't doing the class and you were setting them up, you would just go like this, dunk it down in there 3 or 4 times, right? I forgot a friggin' paper towel, dang it. I have to use this lid. It's nice and clean. Let's go ahead and do the rooting hormone while we got this out. I'm just going to lay it here. So just dunk it down in there, 3 or 4 times. You're just giving it a good rinse. Now take this, and there's all kinds of rooting hormones you can use. You can use Clonex gel. You can use all kinds of different types of Clonex. I'll show you what I use. You can get it at Walmart for like $7. You just want to get your roots in there so when they come out, they're nice and white. See that? That's what you want. I'm just going to set this down for right now so we can go on and talk about things. Okay, so we got the rooting hormone on there. We like to use these for a couple reasons. One is it spreads the plants out a little more. You only get 4 to a pot, but it's nice because if you have, let's say you put this one in, and the leaf is pointing this way, and this one's pointing that way, and they're touching. You can just rotate these around, move them away from each other. And then the other thing is let's say this one gets contaminated. You can just reach out and take it out. Now you got it away from your other plants. You get the contamination away from all your other nice plants. So that's why I like to use them. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. I'm going to show you a slick little trick. I'm going to take these gloves off because I don't need them anymore. Get this stuff out of the way that I don't need. Don't need that. Don't need that. Now this is a slick little trick, man. I learned this from a girl on YouTube. She has a channel called Plants in Jars. She does a great job. I really like her content. By the way, this class is going to be available on YouTube later on. Let's say a week from now, you thought, man, what did Go Big say about this or that? Go back to our YouTube channel. If you guys aren't following us on YouTube, go give us a follow, please. It's on YouTube. It's called Go Big Plants on YouTube. Okay. Anytime you're messing with fluvostratin perlite mix, always stir it up before you get going. What happens is the fluvostratin will go to the bottom. I'm going to set this up and then we'll talk about fluvostratin, okay? What it is and where to get it and all that good stuff. All right. So here we go. We're going to pot this thing up. A lot of times people will do this. They'll take it, they'll fill it, and then they're trying to make a hole to get it in. It's not the way to do it. That's the way I used to do it. And you end up damaging the plant doing it that way. What you do is you take the plant, you hold it between your fingers like a cigarette, basically. Not that I smoke, because I don't. But what it does, it allows you to center that exactly where you want it. You can move it up and down if you need to, right? If you want it a little lower, you can bring it down. You can get that exactly where you need it in the pot, right? And then you just leave this little crack right here. No, on YouTube, it's Go Big Plants. And then see that little crack? You just start filling in right there. Let it fill in on that little crack. I'll tell you a little tip too on this part. You just fill that in. You guys are live right now on this. This is the first live class we've done. We're streaming live on YouTube right now. Okay. Any of you guys that can't find it, let me know. I can send you a link. Here's kind of an important part. Once you get to this point and you got it like where you want it, when you move your fingers away, be very careful because you'll rip it right back out again. If you do that, just repot it up, but you can pull it out like that. See that little void right there? It leaves a void where you couldn't get it in there because your fingers were in the way. So just come back in and backfill it. Okay. You don't want the leaves touching anything if you can help it. The less the leaves touch, the better off you are. So you can see we got that pretty centered. We got it pretty where we want it, right? So that's the pot up process. Now I'm going to teach you how to water it. You see a lot of people, they water them in, they go like this. And then they say, okay, I watered it. No, you didn't water it. Okay. You want to see water flowing out the bottom of this thing. Work your way all the way around the container. Keep giving it water. Keep giving it water. Keep giving it water. Go all the way. Make the whole top of that wet. And eventually, see how you're going to start seeing water come out of the bottom? When you see that water come out of the bottom, give it another big squirt. You want, because these things they're going to drain. It's not going to hold a lot of water because perlite and fluvostratin is very draining. Okay, so that's set up correctly now. It's watered correctly. You got the rooting hormones on the roots. You did the soak, so now it's going to go into your humidity dome, right? And we'll talk about humidity domes. There's all different ways to do it. This is another trick I tell people. Put 2 tablespoons of water in the bottom of this green tray. When you get done, you want there to be water where it flows side to side, where you see a little bit of water on the bottom. Okay? Let me get this out of the way and we'll talk about this. Any questions up to that point? Anybody have any questions? Oh, I didn't show the rooting powder. Thanks for reminding me. I use this. I get it at Walmart. It's like $7. And like I said, we use Clonex gel a lot, but I use this probably most of the time because it works. And you don't have to spend $50. You can get it for like $7, $8, something like that at Walmart. Okay. These pots, I believe, they're 2-inch by an inch. Matter of fact, let me see so I can give you a good answer. I don't have a tape in here. I believe the top are like 1 3/4 inches across and they're about 2 inches tall. Okay. So once you get to that point, the next tip I'll give you is take your dome and spray it. You want there to be, you want it to look misty when you're done. See how that looks all misty looking? That's what you want. Yes, that plant did have roots. It did. But if you had a plant that didn't have roots, you would just dip the very tip, its butt, or whatever you want to call it, into the rooting powder. Okay. So very important when this goes on, make sure this is closed. I made a mistake one time and bumped this open with my finger. And I tell people if you have helpers in your grow room, get a little piece of tape, put a piece of tape to keep that from opening up. Okay? So go ahead and go on with the dome. Okay? That's how you set it up. Now we'll talk about what do you do with it for the next 6 weeks. Let me show you something I do like to do with these if I have a couple laying here. I don't know what I did with them. Hang on a second. What I do, I like to use those little metal clips I set them down somewhere. Dang it. I'll explain them to you. I have to look for them. I don't want to waste time. So I get those little spring clips, those little black spring clips that you use for papers, and I put one here and I put one there to kind of just hold it. Because sometimes the temperatures, these will pop up, and you don't want them doing that. You want to keep them closed, okay? Binder clips, exactly. Oh, here's some right here, sitting right in front of me. These right here. So I just take those, just put them right on, one on each side, just to kind of keep them from popping up. It helps a lot. Okay. So now what do we do, Go Big? Well, first of all, you want to keep them at a house temperature. In other words, around 75. You don't want them 95. You don't want them, 55. You want them about 75 degrees, somewhere in there. Typical house temperature. Yeah, what's good about the clips, like you said, you can take it off and on, and put it back on. All right. Now, don't forget to label this thing. Put your label on there that has the date. It has what type of plants they are, because you will forget. You'll think you won't, but you will. Okay. Now, let's go over what we're going to do with this thing. First of all, give it very diffuse lighting. These kits come with a light in them. You have to buy 3 to get the harness, but if you only buy 1, this is a standard plug-in from a cell phone. It has a nice little LED. It has a 4-cell LED in it, so it works out pretty good. You don't need bright light on these, guys. You don't need a big old grow light on this. Just very diffuse light. If you're in a grow room situation where you are running a big light, just put a piece of notebook paper over this to diffuse the light a little bit. Okay? Okay, so for the next 2 weeks, forget you own this thing. I'm not kidding you. Don't touch it. Don't take the lid off. Don't take it over to your neighbor's house. Don't carry it outside to show your buddy. Just leave it alone. Put it where it goes and leave it alone for 2 weeks. What we're wanting to do, we want to bring this thing from 100% humidity and slowly change it down until we're around 70%. Okay, so it can survive. So the first 2 weeks, we're not going to do a thing. Week 3, first day of week 3, so day 15, we're going to open this vent just ever so slightly that you can tell that it's open, right? On week 4, we're going to open it halfway. On week 5, we're going to open 100%. And then on week 6, we're going to start taking this lid off for like a couple hours at a time and increase the time over the next week. Don't do that. You tear your plant now. That thing was on there. So we're going to leave it off for a couple hours. The next day, maybe leave it off for 4 hours. Next day, leave it off for, 8 hours, and work your way up to just leaving the lid off completely. Yeah, you'll struggle because of the temperature. Just keep them. The best thing you can do is just make sure they're hydrated. So keep an eye on that water that's in the bottom. And then if it dries out, just add more water. You might even miss, if you're that hot, if you're in the 90s, you may want to miss these every couple days with a misting bottle. Okay. So at the end of week 6, I got one other thing I want to tell you, because I don't usually tell you guys till after that part. Yes, 2 tablespoons is plenty. Okay. And then there's one more thing we need to do from week 3 through week 5. We call it Fresh Air Friday. Every Friday, just take the lid off like that, give it a little one of those, and put it back on. You're just going to refresh the air, okay? Let me tell you something about these lids, too, guys. A lot of times you have a hard time getting them to stay on. So if you do have a hard time, flip it around the other way. And then this one is really tight. But anyway, if you struggle with the lid, just flip it around the other way. It usually fixes it. So every Friday from the 3rd week to the 5th week, just take the lid off and then put it back on. After week 6, after you've had the lid off, on that day that you decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to leave this lid off now. Just keep an eye on it that day. Look at it in the morning, look at it in mid-afternoon, look at it at night. If you look in there and that plant is just happy as can be, take it out. Treat it like any other plant you've ever owned. Okay? If you look in there and it's all on its side, it's sad, it's looking limpy, put the lid back on. Give it a couple more days. The plant will tell you if it's okay. All right? And then once it comes out of there, you just leave it in this container for about another 4 weeks until you start seeing some good root development, and then you can pot it up. It's not that hard. Any questions on any of this up to this point? Yes, you do open the dial. So you're going to open up that dial and look at your cheat sheet because it has it on there. On week 3, quarter. On week 4, a half. Week 5, fully open. And then on week 6, you're going to start taking the lid off. You guys, let me give you another shot of that cheat sheet. This tells you what to do week by week, okay? Do a screenshot of that. Okay? And that's about it. It's not as hard as it seems. People make it out to be. And once you do this, a few times, you'll see that it's not that difficult. And once you've done it enough, you won't even think about it. You'll just do it. And then what's nice is now you get to get some nice plants on the cheap. Yes, it does. It does come with the cheat sheet. Here's some that we set up about I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago. 4 or 5 weeks ago, 4 weeks maybe. Here's a balloon heart. This is a banana, and I think this was an elbow. See why you need to put your labels on here? That's why it's important. I didn't label this one, I don't think. And then you start wondering, no, it's on there. Oh, this is a devil monster right here. See, a good thing I put a label on it. So I mean, this devil monster, that's $100 plant, TC. That plant would be $1,000 full grown. So you can save a lot of money by doing this. Okay. I haven't done begonias. Most TCs are going to follow the same steps. Most TCs are going to be exactly alocasias, monsteras, anthuriums are going to be exactly what I just showed you. I haven't done begonias, but I would think they're exactly the same. Begonias are a tough one to be shipping in the mail. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of times begonias will not make the trip, especially in this type of weather when it gets hot like this. They do not survive well. That's why we don't stock them, because we just feel like the failure rate is so high on begonias. Let me get you guys back over here. Give me a second. Let me get you back on the tripod where you belong. Let me see. Any questions about today's class? Is there something that we didn't go over clear enough? Is there anything that we could have changed about the way we did the class that could have made it more helpful to you? Um, Julie, absolutely, absolutely. Matter of fact, if Betts was in here, I'd show you one that it looked dead. I thought it was dead. I was like, don't even waste your time. That thing's a goner. And she's like, no, these alocasias can come back because with alocasias, all you really need is the meristem. Yeah, it was just plain water, hygienist, just plain water, right out of the tap, just room temperature. I tell people if you don't know what the water quality of yours is, when to start fertilizing TCs. I start fertilizing when they come out of acclimation, but I use eighth strength fertilizer. How long was it in there? What are you talking about? Let's see. Hygienist. How long was it in where? Yeah, no problem. The Tupperware. Okay, the Tupperware one is just to wash it. So we usually spend about 2 minutes with the brush washing it, and then it goes into the glass jar with the peroxide for 5 minutes. I wouldn't do fish water tank for the wash. Uh, Barry, are you talking about to water it with or to? You can use. I would use rainwater. Yeah, I would use rainwater. I don't know if I'd use fish water. I mean, as they get bigger, the humidity tank. No, I wouldn't do that. You could introduce some bacteria. Yeah, you absolutely can. You absolutely can. Yes, exactly. A Monstera mat. Once you get them acclimated, you can use fish water or rainwater. I love to use rainwater. Yeah, rainwater is great. Mary, that's good to hear, Mary. I'm trying to think if I left anything out. We're gonna run a Gibby though. Yeah, somebody, I don't know if it was you, sent me a picture of a plant they had growing out of their aquarium. They were just using the aquarium like a hydro setup. So we have some all I have to run are pom poms and some green on green elves today. So I'll run some of those for those that want to do it. Let's run a couple givvies real quick for you guys. I'm gonna run some seed packs first. We'll just I'll do a seed pack giveaway on some. We started buying, we're gonna start selling seeds. Bet's gonna start, she'll have her it's called Let's Grow. That's Betts's seed her channel for selling. So we're gonna move all the gardening and that kind of stuff over to there. And but anyway, let me talk a little bit real quick about some of these seeds. A lot of people think that you plant stuff in the ground. I've done a lot of small lot farming over the years. And a lot of people think, and I used to think that too, you plant your plants in the ground, they harvest, and your season's over. A lot of plants are not like that. Like these green beans. Right now, you can plant these green beans right now and harvest green beans before the season's over. You can succession plant them. Tomatoes too. Tomatoes, people think, oh, you just plant tomatoes once. No, you can succession plant tomatoes. Like plant some, wait 2 months, plant some more, wait 2 months, plant some more. And the reason I'll show you the ones you want to be doing that with is the cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes can give you tomatoes in like 50 days or less, sometimes less. Some of these like the super golds, they're not called super golds. They're something gold, cherry golds. They'll produce tomatoes in like 40 days from seed. So you can still plant a lot of this stuff in the ground now. Green beans is one. Here's a great there's a great crop I love to grow is arugula. If you've never grown arugula, man, you don't know what you're missing. There ain't nothing better than arugula on a fresh sandwich. Tomatoes out of the garden, maybe a piece of ham with some arugula on there. Don't get no better than that. Okay, so a lot of these crops um, you can still grow these crops. So we're gonna have these. We're gonna sell these separately. Betsy will be doing these as dollar starts on her selling platform. Oh, really? I bet. I never thought of that. I've had bearded dragons before. I used to be a big crazy reptile guy. At one time, I had 40 reptiles, and they're all breeders. So I used to produce a lot of reptiles. Um, so anyway, let's pull a winner real quick on this, and I'll send you a pack of seeds. I'm just gonna pull one out of this pile. We'll get some seed winners going. The winner is Barry. Congratulations, got you a sack of seeds, baby. Got you a sack of seeds. I'm gonna run another one, and I'm gonna run that hygrometer I told you guys about. You guys go jump in there. We'll do another couple packs of seeds. I'll send you some green beans or tomatoes or arugula, something like that. Okay, let's pick a winner. Winner is Abby. Congratulations, you got you a pack of seeds. We'll do one more pack of seeds. You bet you. And then we're gonna run the hygrometer. Okay. Go jump in the Gibby. We'll do one more pack of seeds, and then I'm going to talk about this hygrometer a little bit, and then I'm going to run it for you. Actually, anytime now. We did one, what we included it in with our tissue cultures. It didn't go very well. But Betsy's probably going to start doing it on Saturdays. And her channel here is called Let's Grow, LETSGROW. And get you guys to go bookmark her stuff. I don't even know if she has anything posted yet, but she's going to. She's going to start doing the seeds and gardening supplies. All right. And I'll have some educational classes over there. I'll go over there on her channel and I'll do some education for you guys on like I can teach you some ways to farm that will make your life so much easier where you don't have to work as hard. And once you get your rows set up nicely and get everything, your watering set up and do some landscape fabric, I'll show you how to use that and what to buy. There's just no work afterwards. It's just planting and harvesting. Says name is Mima. Is that hate? Hey, Rain, how are you? It should be Let's Grow. I'll find out. I'll drop a link on here. I should have had the link ready for you guys. But anyway, we'll figure that part out. Good. We just finished up the class. So let me run the hygrometer. Let me talk about the hygrometer real quick. I put a battery in this thing so I could show you guys how this thing works. These things are cool. Really cool. So what they do is they measure temperature and humidity, right? I see her, but her name is Mima. I'll have to ask her about that. But it says let's grow, right? I'll have to hit her up, see if she's probably just getting her profile set up. Yes, and oh my, that could be her sense of humor. Right? Only 105 followers. Yeah, she's just getting started. It's a brand new channel for her. We were going to incorporate it in on this channel, but we just felt like we didn't want to confuse people on what we were doing. We did do a show for the seeds for about an hour one night after we did tissue cultures, and the I think we need to find our own. Julie, I think it is. I don't know because I didn't go look at it. She just set it up, or not just set it up, but anyway, she just started selling on there. No, it's not Kelly Harper. It should say Kate. It'll either say Kate or Betsy. I'll get the right one for you and I'll post it. Anyway, these things are great. So what they do, not only can you see it here, right? It has an app that goes to your phone and it has a histogram. It'll show you what the temperature and humidity was over the last 30 days. And it has and so what you do if you want to reset it, you just take the batteries out and put them back in and then it starts over. But see how it says minimum and maximum? So whatever the minimum temperature was, it'll record it. Whatever the maximum cord, it will record it. And then it gives you the current for temperature and humidity, and you can set up heat alarms on this. And we usually have these for sale and to buy it now. These are great, man. I have probably 5 of them here. And let's say you have a something out in the garage and it's 200 feet from the house. You can set this out there and then just look at your phone and tell what the plants are doing. Very handy. Okay, let's run that. You guys ready to run the? You guys are running ready to run the Bluetooth. Type Bluetooth in the chat. Get some conversation going. Who's the winner on Red Bud Plants? You got yourself a set. Did I run? Hang on, I want to make sure. Did I just run the Bluetooth? Yeah, seeds. You just got you a sack of seeds. So let's go ahead and run the hygrometer now. Okay. Everybody jump in there. We're going to run this hygrometer. Appreciate you being at the class today. Hope you learned something. You got something out of the class, you can drop me a tip. You don't have to do that. We just throw that out there. Betsy makes me say that. Here we go. Running the hygrometer. Thanks, Julie. Appreciate you. Thanks, Abby. Appreciate the tip. I really do. And then, like I said, we're going to have a new delivery, a new order coming in on about the 14th, somewhere in there, maybe a little sooner. So we'll have, like we usually have, we'll have about 20 different varieties, everywhere from $8 up to Nikki, thank you. Everywhere from like, $8 up to, $75. So we have ranges for everything. Monstera, Alocasia, and Anthurium. We're adding more Anthurium every time. I'm really getting to where I really like the Anthuriums. They set up well. They're pretty tough. Bro Green Thumb, thank you. Appreciate you. So anyway, was there anything during the live today that you guys think we could have done a better job at? Let me know because we're trying to make it better every time. What we could have done better. Um, Let me know if there's something that we went over too fast. We could have went over not as fast. We could have went into detail a little bit more. Barry, thank you for your tip. We appreciate you. You guys make sure you get in a Givy, okay? Those are nice. These are nice little hygrometers. The hygrometer will ship ground. Okay. We take care of all the shipping and all that on that. Abby, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you. Anybody want me to run some tissue cultures? We can just run some, just see if anyone wants to pick some up. Same kind of deal as usual. Oh, I was going to talk to you guys about something we got. You guys heard about the shipping changes, right? The big shipping changes that are coming. Yeah, it's going to, I don't think it's going to be as drastic as using the kit you sent your perfectly so far on a tissue culture from Cap City. Oh, awesome. I like Cap. He's a good guy. We kind of go back and forth. We send each other's people back and forth if we have something the other one doesn't have, which is handy. I'm trying to find one of those boxes. Betsy came in here and cleaned right before I started, and she moved my stuff all around. I have a little helper. Do you guys have little helpers in your room that move your stuff where you can't find it? I have one of those. Hang on, I really want to show you guys these boxes. Anyway, here's the plan. What'd she do with my boxes? Hang on a second. She's good at hiding stuff. So we got a couple different types of premium insulated boxes that we've just switched to. If you order from us and you don't order ice, you're going to get your stuff in one of these, and it's a crapshoot if they're going to be alive when they get there. Okay, but if you buy just ice and you don't put out for the premium box, we'll send it in this really nice. It's an insulated. This is to keep things cold, and it's not just a standard bag. It's for refrigeration. Your stuff will go in here with the ice, and then so if you buy just ice, this is how it's going to get shipped. If you buy a premium box, I wish I could find one because I really want to show you this. She carried them off somewhere. Hang on a second. She's not here either. Aha! I figured her out. She's trying to hide it from me. This is the company we started with. We're probably going to go with another company I found that I'm a little happier with. But these are premium boxes. This is what's going to happen with the shipping. What's going to happen with the shipping, it may end up actually coming out cheaper for you guys because our stuff doesn't weigh much. We always did flat rate because then it was very flexible. So the winner is Aurora E. Wise. Congratulations, just got yourself a free Bluetooth hygrometer from Go Big. Yeah, so when you ordered the premium box, did you get the did you get the one that has the big black insulation in it? Or was it a bag inside a box? Yeah, this one. So this is the one I'm thinking. I have another. I didn't like those. They were a little too small. I thought they could have been a little bit bigger. So I did find some that that are a little bit bigger than these. So here's the deal. What's going to happen is the shipping is going to. We didn't get a raid, did we? Okay, just making sure. What's going to happen is the flat rate's going to go away, which that's kind of a bummer because a lot of people like me, it makes it very convenient because I can put a humidity kit in there. I can put a bag of fluval and soil. I can put in TCs and I don't have to weigh nothing. Well, that's going to go away. So what's going to happen with us on our tissue cultures, we're going to go to this box because they're going to ship everything ground now. We're going to see what the price difference is and we're going to give a price option to you guys. If you want to pay the extra money, I'm sorry, excuse me, and get your stuff there sooner, there's going to be like a little charge because we still can send them priority. But what I heard is the priority is going to be quite a lot more money than what it used to be. So the the ground is going to go cheaper, but the priority is going to go up. So depending on what it is, okay. But here's what we're going to do. They're only going to be in the mail one more day than they should have been. But sometimes even when you send stuff priority, it gets in the mail 10 days. You just don't know. It starts August 1st. So here's what we're going to do to fight it. We know they're going to be in the mail another day. So we're going to insulate the crap out of them. So these are really nice boxes. They have five they have 6 of these panels. And this isn't standard. This has a higher R value than insulation, than styrofoam. It's what they call a carbon insulator. And we used to use these shipping reptiles. That's how I got this idea. And that's what this box is actually used for, is for shipping reptiles. And so they work really well, okay? So we're going to have these available. They're going to be $10. Our ice charges typically have been $4. So you can pay $4 and get this, or you can spend 10 and you get this and it comes with the ice. Okay, so if you buy this premium box, it's going to come with ice. So you don't pay for both. Very, very nicely insulated box, heavy duty box, and it's small enough that the shipping's probably going to be cheaper than the 921, I'm guessing. I'm not saying for sure, but I think the shipping might go down for us on the tissue cultures. And the box I'm going to get, we'll be able to put like 25 to a box, no problem. Okay? So it shouldn't change us here much. So if you've been buying from us, don't stress about the shipping. It's going to work out. The people it's going to really hurt are people that do like clothes and bulk clothing, where they'll let you just fill the whole box and it only costs you 921. Happy 4th to you as well. I didn't tell that to you guys today. I apologize for not saying that. So that's the plan on the shipping. Going to a premium box, one extra day in the mail. If you want priority mail, it will be available. We're not sure what the cost is going to be yet, but we're going to stay on top of all that stuff. Okay. So we're on it. Until these boxes show up, I do have another type of premium box that we have to use up. They're still good boxes. I don't think they're as good as these. Okay, let me run some tissue cultures real quick to see if anybody wants to pick up. And if after that, I think I'm going to call it a night, give my voice a rest. I finally got my voice back. Man, I had this crap going around. And I'll tell you what, it kicked this old man's butt. Put me down, man. I'm not kidding you. I don't know what it is. Let me go see if I can find it real quick. Let me look on the computer, right? You guys give me just a second. Let me look it up on the computer real quick. Let's see. Where's Whatnot at? Oh. Is it so slow? How can I search this? Hang on a second, I'm almost there. I should have done this before I ran the show. I didn't think about it. She didn't even know what it was called when I asked her. So maybe she got it wrong. But it's, let's see what this one is. What does she has for a picture? What does she have for a picture? I don't think that's her, man. No, that's not her, man. She might have put an underscore in there if I know her. Let's do an underscore. You didn't lose me, guys. Hang on. I think she's got her name wrong. I have to shoot it to you, Julie. She, I bet she is. I have to get with her. I'm sure I could figure it out. I just don't want to waste time making you guys wait. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I'll send you a link. Abby, I'll make sure. Hey, you guys that want her link, send me a message before you leave here. I got to get with her. I don't think she knows what her name is, to be honest with you. I don't think she knows. We when we first got set up, she sold some books and stuff, and she wasn't sure where she wanted to go with it. So now we got the seed thing and the plant thing, and we're gonna she'll probably have plant shows and seeds. That's and maybe some like gardening supplies, like different things. Like I'm gonna do some training on teaching people small lot farming. We'll have some really nice trays available, like those ones that I show you in my grow room that I use. So we'll have a lot of neat product available over there. Okay. But I'll make sure you guys get those links. I'll figure it out. I should have had it figured out today. I'm lucky I made it. I postponed this live like 3 times. I hate doing that, but man, I had so much going on. 4th of July's coming. My back was a fire hazard, so I spent a whole day just getting the back ready because we have a lot of people letting off fireworks on around our property. So anyway, hey, let me run some. I'll run a few of these. Everybody on today's same kind of deal as usual, 921 max shipping. We'll ship out on Monday. We only have pom poms and yeah, I was beat up, man. By the time I got done, I could hardly walk. Last weekend, got them all potted out. First ever time doing cheese. Fear hug, I think. That's a That's awesome, Nikki. That's why I do these classes. Thank you so much for saying that, because that's why I do these classes. I want to bring people into the hobby. It's fun, and you can have a really cool collection um, on the cheap. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Nikki, did you catch the class prior to setting up for the first time? Awesome. That's good. That's great. That means that it's working, and that's important to me that you guys are able to follow it. It's not very expensive. You can do it. And like I say, if you guys ever run into a problem, send me a message. I'm available. If I don't answer you, it's because I'm either on a really long live or I'm out of town or something. That's the only time I won't answer. I'm usually check my messages 3 times a day. And if you ever have a problem with anything that I sold you, send me a message. Get a hold of me. Because I've had people put stuff on the reviews, and I was like, and not bad, but just just let me know. That way, if there's a problem, I can fix it. Because if you don't let me know, I don't know. Because things happen. You know, Sometimes things fall between the cracks. You get a lot of different things going on, and you forget one person. You told them that you was going to do something, and you didn't do it. So any of that stuff ever happens to you, please send me a message. I really do a lot of effort on giving good customer service. It's very important to me. Oh, that's great, Nikki. Yeah, it's fun, huh? It's a great hobby. And I try to promote people. Hey, if you ever get to the point that you don't have to make it about money, but if you love it and you enjoy it and you're good at it, you can always turn this into a business. Because if you can take tissue cultures and get them up to this point, now you can triple your money on what you paid for them. Okay. You can make that into a business easily. And we're working on doing bulk ordering on Wednesdays. We're going to start offering bulk ordering. Probably not, probably in about 3 or 4 more weeks, though. We're going to start offering bulk orders like 30 of these, 30 of Friday, 30, dragon scales. So we're going to have good prices for bulk orders. Okay. Let's run some auctions and see if anybody wants to buy any of what I got left. I don't, I get it. Well, that one's already ran. Let's run some pom poms real quick. Actually, these pom poms, go look them up, man. These are a banging deal. These are a smoking deal. Lemon pom poms, $42. What a deal. Running. Oh, I got it 30 seconds. Sorry about that. I always do that on the first one every time. We lowered the price way down on these because we're just trying to move our inventory. And we'll have a lot of new inventory. It's going to be about 10 or 12 days though, but I'm going to do some classes in between then. Okay. Let me change the timing on this thing. We'll just run a few of them. If nobody wants to buy, that's cool. We'll call it a night. Take questions or whatever. Uh, Next. Changes. There it is, right there. There we go. We'll run a few of these, and then we'll just take some questions, and if you guys have any questions or anything, we'll do that. I'll run a few of these, a few of the green elves. Look at that one. It's got a brand new leaf getting ready to open. Two nice banging leaves on it. It's running. All right. Let me run a couple of these green elves. We dropped the price down on the green elves as well. 255. These green elves are something, man. If you haven't seen these, go look them up. Green on green monsteras. They're let's see, I'm pulling up real quick for you. My screen's still going. My screen's not on. This thing shut off. It did. Here we go. There we go. I'll pull one up for you on the screen where you can see it. So they're a light green, dark green monstera. Won't that open? Oh, my screen, my computer is being weird. Let's do that. You guys see the screen up there? That's kind of what they look like. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's all I just ran because we were having the class and I thought, well, we'll just run them. Yeah. So they're a light green, dark green monstera and they fenestrate. So they get those splits in them, but they're really cool, man. And these are a banging deal, believe it or not. Green on green. And no pressure here for you guys sitting buying today, guys. I just thought I'd throw something in there, being as we were going to have the class. All right. Any questions? Any questions I can answer for you? We are going to have we will be doing some live teaching in the next week or two. I'll be doing one a week probably. I haven't decided. I do want to do a hydro class. I haven't done that yet, so I think I'm going to throw together a hydroponic class. And you guys, if you don't mind, go give us a follow over on YouTube. Go Big Plants on YouTube. And this class, so if you later on, if you decide, man, what did he say about this or that, you can go rewatch the class. The video will be posted on YouTube of this whole class that we just did today. So we multi-stream today. Yeah, I'll do that. Babe, come here a minute. Yeah, I don't blame you, Nikki. Do you pull up your phone and pull up your Whatnot account? Because we can't find it.
Oh, I might have said the wrong one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what she did. Isn't that what I said? Isn't that what I said to you guys? I don't think she knows what it's called.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie. Made a mistakey. I like your little outfit. You want to share?
No.
Why?
No, because I worked. Yeah, it's Betts Road. I have to make a name. I have to make a name. It's gonna be Let's Grow.
Betts RHO. Okay, you guys ready? Here, there. Can I just show them this? Okay.
We're gonna change it to Let's Grow.
It is going to get changed, but you'll get the notification when it gets changed. Betts Row. BETS RHO. Betts Row.
I don't know my name. That's funny.
Good thing she has me, huh?
Oh God, love you. Oh, the water on our tree. I got to turn it off.
All right. You guys get that? Betts Row. Betsrho. Yes, that's it. Let's see, does it pull it up? Let's see what her profile. I gotta train this woman. She's gonna change the name though. Only she knew what it was. Thanks, bro Green. Thanks for doing that, saying that. Yeah, so she'll be doing seeds and plants sometimes, and then gardening supplies. So we're going to try to do some classes on what a fall garden is, because a lot of people don't understand that you can start a fall garden coming up pretty soon, like in the next 2 to 3 weeks. You should be putting seeds in the ground, and you can grow plants right through the winter, guys. A lot of stuff you can grow during the fall and winter months. A lot of stuff actually grows better during that time of the year. Carrots, one of the best crops you can grow through the winter time. You get them going now, and then you harvest them in the spring, and they'll be the best carrot you ever ate. Wait, is it with a S or without? With an S. Betsrho. Abby's got it. That's correct. Click on where it says at Betts Row. That's the correct one. No, her name is Betsy. And then I don't know what I didn't decide. She couldn't figure out what her name was going to be. So she just put that to get going. But she's going to have seeds. We'll fix it. We'll put a nice little profile on there. She's going to have seeds and plants, pups of Monstera and Alocasia. She might be selling corms. She's talking about it. And but she really loves alocasias, and she's really very good at it.
You need to tell them your history as an urban farmer
Yeah.
and how you don't like pesticides, and you taught me that.
Well, we talked a little bit about that. Yeah, she's talking about how I needed to tell them how I'm the urban farmer. So I'm really against using pesticides. I always have been.
Really, really, really.
And I'm all about organic gardening and how to do stuff without using pesticides and fertilizer in a bottle. It says profile says Betsy Rhodes.
That's me.
That's her. That's her. Yeah, that's her.
I need to update it.
We're gonna fix all that. But yeah, she's gonna do Saturdays. Saturdays still on seats.
I'm gonna be the string queen.
She's gonna be the string queen. And even though she's selling seeds, she loves succulents, the string ones. She loves those more than anything. But she'll be on there. She's a kick. Her mother dropped her on her head when she was little, and I don't think she ever recovered. She told me her sister pushed her down the stairs on a tricycle, but I think it was the window was higher. It had to be higher. Crazy woman. You ever know anybody eats ice cream out of the container?
Everybody. No.
You got chocolate on your lip. Abby says I do that. She'll get the container and just sit there and eat it out of the container. She don't. Look at her string. She's so proud of. That's what hydroponics do for you guys. Look at these. These are strings too. No, we don't have Monstera Swiss cheese. We should probably get some. We've been asked that a lot, and we've never really had them in TC, but we should probably look into that. Swiss cheese. I've been asked that more than once. We can get just about anything. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it a day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my live today. I appreciate you. Yeah, we will. You guys go give Betsy a follow. And on Saturday, she'll be there with her seeds. I think she's going to do great. The prices are going to be good on the seeds. We're going to start them at dollar starts. Most expensive packet will be $3. And then we'll have bundles for like, a good deal on a bundle of 10. We actually have a fall harvest seed selection that gives you 15 packets for like 30. I think it's going to be 30, 35, somewhere in there. All right, guys. Hey, have a great night. Be safe though, okay? Be safe with those fireworks. Keep an eye on your property. It's a real fire hazard when they're doing that. Makes me nervous. Let's go raid somebody. Hey, when we go in the raid, put go big and big green hearts. Hey, thank you. I always try to remember to tell you guys thank you. Without you guys, I couldn't do this, and I appreciate you for coming and spending your time with me. And hopefully, the class today gave you the, you know, the, you know, just some confidence in knowing that you can do this, and it's not as hard as everybody makes it out to be. Okay, you guys have a great night. Let's go. Let's go raid somebody. Now, these guys. This guy's a pretty popular seller. Let's give him a good old go big howdy.